それでは時間となりましたので、セミナーを開始いたします。本日、座長を務めますのは、九州大学アジア・オセアニア研究教育機構研究推進ディレクターのスコット・バレンタイン教授です。バレンタイン先生、よろしくお願いいたします。
Great. Thank you, Hisakawa-san, and welcome everyone to our 92nd edition of our Brown Bag Seminar. Wow, 92. What's that expression in Japanese? Toki wa ya no yo ni tobu. You know, time really flies. Today we are blessed with our guest presenter in Dr. Ashir Ahmed. From our very own Kyushu University. He's an associate professor at the Department of Advanced Information Technologies within the Faculty of Information Science and Electrical Engineering. You can see from his bio something that is very important for many of you young academics who are thinking, how should I fashion a career? How can I contribute to the world at large? Because when you look at Dr. Ahmed's profile, what you'll see is that he has positioned himself as an expert in information sciences, but actually he applies most of his work, to social issues and focuses a lot on helping to advance sustainable development goals around the world. So he brings this outside expertise that is absolutely essential to achieving the mission into an area that is, of course, personally fulfilling and very important to all of us. If we can just switch to the next slide, two things I think are worth highlighting. One is how old Dr. Ashir has become. Look at his picture from when he was a young lad joining in Japan in 1988. And as the years have gone by, he's had a tremendous contribution and impact here in Japan and has been a really important bridge to his own native land of Brunei. In particular, Dr. Ahmed has established the Global Communications Center, which is affiliated with Grameen and the Grameen organization in Bangladesh. And so there he is using communications and expertise in order to help to connect the world to the challenges in Bangladesh and beyond. So I will leave it at that because we have a very important topic that Dr. Ahmed will be discussing with us. That is the role of ICT and artificial intelligence in helping us to achieve what we call the 3ZEROs, so zero unemployment, poverty, and net CO2 emissions. So Dr. Ahmed, without further ado, thank you for joining us today, and I shall cede the virtual floor to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Scott Valentine, for this excellent introduction of myself. Yes, I can remember when I came to Japan when I was just 17, 18 years old. So many years already have been elapsed in Japan, so many experiences. So yeah, today I'm delighted. Thank you very much for inviting me to this very prestigious Brown Bag seminar by Q-AOS in Kyushu University. So today I will talk about, as you have already mentioned, that role of ICT. ICT is something that I play with. This is my expertise, information and communication and technology. And recently, artificial intelligence became so much useful, so much practical, but at the same time, artificial intelligence can cause some trouble in the society as well. But we want to take the good part of artificial intelligence, then we want to see how these two tools, ICT and artificial intelligence, can contribute to the society at large. So thank you very much. Today, I splitted my talk into three parts. I know there are some audience who may not know about the background of why ICT is important and like what will be the target community. Of course, I cannot We cannot do it for everyone, but we can start with something that I will talk about a community that our target is the BOP, base of the pyramid. So I will talk about the social issues around BOP as an informal sector. And number two, as you know, when I came to Kyushu University, we had joint agreement with Grameen Family of Organizations, Grameen Communications. So for the first few years, I spent my time to learn about their 30 years experience. So I will summarize what I learned about Grameen on the second part. Then at the third stage, I will talk about how ICT and artificial intelligence can help to achieve. I said 3 zeros, but we cannot really cover all of them. I will focus on this unemployment issue. So these are the three agenda I will cover today. So this is a slide that I use all the time to demonstrate the shocking facts. The facts that are ignored all the time. But in this 21st century, as a citizen, I feel ashamed that we have like almost 8 billion people, almost 50% of people still live in a poverty, which is like $2.5 a day. 1/8 of the population, 1 billion population in the education sector. We built this education sector for the last 200 years, but still 1/8 of the population are not able to read or write. And at the healthcare issue, there are so many unfortunate facts, but I picked up one, which is 1.5 million children die of diarrhea each year. So if you just simply divide it by 365, it will give you 4,000. So each day, every day, we are losing 4,000 kids from this planet. And we already invented the medicine for diarrhea, maybe almost like 50, 60 years ago, but still it doesn't reach some people. That's why I call it unreached community. So the unreached community is the community. When you look at this pyramid, this is called an economic pyramid. So on the top, there's the rich people. At the bottom, they're the poor people. So 4 billion, 69% of the world population. I think this information is a little old. At the time, it was maybe 7 billion people, not 8 billion. So they live under $5 a day, 69% of the population. And on the top, we have rich people with high income, almost like 75 million to 100 million people. So we do not have really many rich people, but the wealth concentration, if you see, rich people are so rich, poor people are so poor. The gap is very, very big. So that's not something that we really want to design the world that way. So if we look at this, my interest is to see what the characteristics that BOP people have, why they're unreached. Is there anything we can do by using ICT to change these unfortunate facts? So if you look at this unreached community, of course, they have low income, low literacy rate. This is another fact, low purchase power. Since they're poor, their purchase power is low. So having this fact, we make some decisions. I will speak about this later. They do not have proper access to social services. The good side, if you look at this recent penetration of mobile phones, we have 8 billion people. We have almost like 8 billion mobile phones in this planet. So this communication, this network, this technology can be a very good platform to check out and to solve the issues that I'm mentioning. And also the unreached community has been taken care of by charity so far. So now there are business that are being created in this unreached community as well because of this ICT. So this is the characteristics of ICT. And look at this another shocking part. If you look at this population, we had first 1 billion people in this planet at year 1800. Then it took 120 years to welcome 1 billion more people. So in 1920, we had 2 billion people. If you look at 2020, then in this 100 years, almost every 20 years, we had 1 billion people in this planet. But the next 1 billion is coming within 10 years. So very much interestingly, the population doesn't increase in Japan, in the rich countries, population increase in the BOP countries. So all the problems, social problems we have in these BOP communities, it will increase because all these problems will inherit, like the healthcare issue, unemployment issue, and environmental issue at the BOP. So we have to be very careful. We have to be, right now we have to solve those kind of problems in this BOP community. Otherwise, the problem will be bigger. So if we have to welcome another 1 billion people in 10 years, are we ready to accommodate them in the BOP countries? And some activities that we have been doing for the BOP communities, as I've mentioned, they have leftover for charity and social welfare issues, but that's not that charity is a good thing for temporary purpose, but it's not sustainable. We've got to do something for this BOP community. So I'm going to explain few items, the 3 facts: low income, low literacy rate, low purchase power. These are the facts for this BOP people. But what kind of assumptions do we make about them, and what kind of actions do we take? For an example, when we say they have low income, low poverty, we believe that they are not creditworthy. Creditworthy meaning the banking system that we produced, designed in this planet for the last 200 years, they exclude the poor people to give their services. So this is not acceptable. And since they have low literacy rate, when we design products, we design only for the people at the top of the pyramid. And we do not design things directly for the BOP community. So whatever is becoming old, then we recustomize it and then making it more expensive for the poor people. So that is the assumptions and the action that we take. We do not really consider their requirements, so they're left behind. So, and also since they have low purchase power, we believe that they don't have, they're not market worthy. So the action we take, we really don't try to include them as our customer. We just try to solve their problem as charity. So it continues. So I'm going to explain some of the initiatives that Grameen has done so far. How did they tackle this kind of social issues in this BOP? Grameen's interest is only on the BOP community. Grameen, the word Grameen means village or rural. So all the problems that Professor, you can see the picture of Professor Yunus, what he wanted to do is to generate income at the BOP people. So how can we generate income? It's not like give the money to them without any condition, but they want to give money to use their skill. Human beings are entrepreneurs by born, so utilize their skills so that by using $1, they can generate another $1 to solve their own issues by themselves. So he says, how can we create entrepreneurs in the BOP layer? The basic model that he created by Grameen Bank, give $1 to the, I'm making it up, it's $1 doesn't mean $1. It's very small amount of money to the rural poor people. They use a tool, either they buy a chicken, the product comes like eggs, they sell it to the villagers, then they give the loan back to Grameen Bank plus interest. Microcredit has interest as well. And then this loop continues. The rural poor buy another chicken, and this is how the economy or the money moves inside the village. So, but what is special about Grameen Bank? It's a bank only for the poor people. Normal bank give loan only to the rich people. They give loan only to the poor people. That's the criteria you need. And it is owned and operated by the poor people. This is very important. On the right side, you can see the board of members. You can see 9 female members. They are actually the Grameen Bank borrowers, but at the same time, they are the board of directors of that. So they are completely, it is operated by these poor people as well. Small loan, no collateral. Normal bank uses collateral. They just trust everybody. And how can they show you collateral if the poor people are there? It's completely a business, no charity. Just let me show you the business size here. I just copied it from Grameen Bank's website today. So last month, March 23, they distributed almost like 216 million in 1 month. So if the operation day is like 20 days, you can see every day they you can make this calculation. $100 million is it no $210 million. So if you divide it by 21, $10 million per day. So this is the bank size in terms of, and they have 9.5 million people. You can calculate maybe the loan size is like $30 or $50 on average. So this is what they do. And they touch, like how many people did they touch Grameen Bank? 99.5 million. The number is growing day by day. Loan size is becoming bigger. They do business. 97% of their subscribers are women. And the repayment is 98%, which is the highest in the world. So what he proved that we said, the assumptions that we made about the poor people, since they do not have enough money, we said they're not creditworthy. So Grameen Bank proved that these people, poor people, really pay back. They are creditworthy. So that is the traditional assumptions he proved to be wrong. And the same concept was replicated almost like 180 countries in the world. And the Nobel Committee recognized his effort that he really contributed. People lifted up from the below. So that's why Grameen Bank and Professor Yunus jointly, they received the Nobel Peace Prize. If you see the picture on the right side, the lady, she's one of the board of directors. So she represented Grameen Bank and Professor Yunus represented himself. So they jointly were recognized the Nobel Peace Prize from. So not only Grameen Bank, he created almost like 50 plus companies. Whenever he found a problem, he created one company, created Grameen Phone. The model is the same. So get money from the Grameen Bank, use a tool in this time. This is a mobile phone. They provide communication services in the rural areas. And from communication services, they make money, give the money back to Grameen Bank, buy another mobile phone, and they have their small sort of communication company inside every village. So that is called Grameen Phone Lady. And I'm giving you another example of Grameen Shakti. Shakti is the means power. So rural communities, they were not connected to the grid, electricity. So they used the most advanced technology since its inception. Grameen Shakti started in 1997. So they used solar energy to electrify the villages, and it was done as a business. The business is similar. You get money from Grameen Bank, buy a solar panel, use electricity for yourself, and also you can sell electricity to your neighbor. This is how the person makes money, the entrepreneur makes money. So in this way, it became, in 2012, they hit 1 million subscribers, which is again highest in the world as in one company. And in 2014, they broke their own record, 2 million subscribers, and of course, the world largest. So you can see this exponential growth. People needed it. And we can really wait for decades after decades for this infrastructure development by the government or other agency. But what he did, he created small entrepreneurs and gave them the technology in their hand. And these people really like small entrepreneurs, but solve their own problem, but at the same time, it is as a business way. It's not in a charity or anything. They did business, gave the money back to. So the theory is Professor Yunus tried to change the BOP layer, or the bottom of the pyramid layer, or the poor people layer, in an entrepreneur layer. That was his contribution, and tried to make small entrepreneur all over these BUP areas and solve their problems by themselves. So what we have been doing, so this was my knowledge that I learned from Grameen. In 2007, I joined Kyushu University, and what can we do in Kyushu University? So we, Professor Yunus kindly came to Kyushu University, and then we had a joint agreement. And the purpose of this joint agreement was, like, since Professor Yunus is looking at this yellow part, and Japan, and my expertise is technology. So how can we enable, or you can empower the youth in rural areas by giving them other technologies? So that was the starting point. We made this agreement, and there were several projects. I will explain one by one, and then if you have any questions, we will go. So the question is whether ICT as an enabling tool can really change that, the unfortunate facts we have been talking about. So the first part that we design in Kyushu University, it is called, we keep the same model. So there are unemployed youth in the rural areas, and we gave a tool. It was like a very easy way to manage information in the village. You know, the village's information was not tapped very much, but thanks to the internet and mobile phone, it is very easy. They can collect the village information, and also village information can be given to the villagers as well. They can sell this information, and we call them village information entrepreneur. So very fortunately, we at the time we made a platform capable of handling 85,000 sort of websites, portals for 85,000 villages. And the concept was very much replicated by the government of Bangladesh. Now we have, they don't call it village information entrepreneur, but they call like Union is the smallest unit of our country. So they appointed one entrepreneur. They play with this information, sell information, and in like all the Yakuba or the city offices do, birth rate registration, giving certifications, those kind of things, citizen services they provide by that information service. So that was our first project. We wanted to know the villages, and with my students from Japanese University, almost like 500 students actually went to Bangladesh with me and visited many villages in Bangladesh. The second product that we designed, I will talk more about this, is called Gram Health Entrepreneur. The word Gram means village. So it's a village healthcare entrepreneur. So what we did, we designed a box. It is called Portable Health Clinic. So we give this tool to a rural poor or unemployed girl. Then she can provide healthcare services to the villagers and give the money back to one interesting story is we are not talking about Grameen Bank anymore. So after Professor Yunus received Nobel Peace Prize, he's talking about social business. He created a social business fund. So the relationship between the unemployed youth or who receive the investment, the entrepreneur, they take investment and they return only the invested money. So no interest, since it's not a loan, there's no interest. They just give only the investment money plus smile. Smile means the social impact they can create. So we use the same concept. And the third project that we did with Toyota in Japan, we tried to see what the mobility look like in the rural areas in different countries. So we started from Bangladesh. By the way, Gram Health Entrepreneurship, this portable health clinic project is currently being tested in 7, 8, 9 countries in Asia and in Africa, not only in Bangladesh. So this Gram Car Entrepreneur, we tried to see in a community, what is the total mobility information is there? What is the pattern of the mobility in a village? Can we design, like one person cannot own a car, but one community can own a car. So we can design a car. It's like a village Uber, you can imagine, and it can give multiple services. We called it social service on wheels. So 7 services we included in one car, and in Bangla, we call it Shabar Gari Ashche Bari. So the one car brings all the services to you. So we experienced a lot of services during the COVID when you have many delivered items coming to you, but it can really help with other services as well. So in the morning time, the car becomes a school bus. In the evening hours, when the car is empty, at the time it can work giving healthcare services, and sometimes it can work as an ambulance in the rural areas as well. So one car, multiple services at different times. So how to schedule it, how to maintain, how to understand people's scheduling. I think you can imagine the Uber software, how they operate that. The similar, very much similar software system that we designed with Toyota for the villages in Bangladesh. And another thing is gram clean. As you know, that many items, the waste item is coming because our economic condition is getting better in Bangladesh, and many products comes with plastics and everything, but our villages are not really ready how to manage the waste. So we also started a project called Gram Clean, how to keep a village clean in a community. So these are the projects we have done. Everything had very detailed technology within every of these projects. So today I will explain only one. How much time do I have? So one story that really is changing millions of lives, that is the Gram Health Project. So why we want to do it, if you look at the empathy that created, like 50% of the world population, they do not have access to quality healthcare till today, and it's increasing, it's not decreasing. 930 million people spend 10% of their household income. You can calculate your expenditure as well, how much money you spend for your healthcare. And 10% for the poor people is very high. And that's why 100 million people go back to poverty level again, pushed to the poverty because of this high healthcare cost. So why it is the basic question, like we asked ourselves, why people do not have access to healthcare? Is it because the clinics are far away? Yeah, that's true. Is it because lack of doctors? Yes, that's true. We do not have enough doctors in rural areas, in developing countries, and in rural areas, the distribution is even very unfair. In cities, all the doctors stay in the cities. They don't really want to go to the rural areas. Not only Bangladesh, in many countries it's the same, even in Japan. And is it because of the high medical cost? And now mass people even know about preventive medicine. So we tried to redesign a clinic. So we want to understand what kind of component do we have in a clinic? So in a particular typical clinic, we have nurse, we have diagnostic tools, we have doctors. These three major components we have. So if you want to have a clinic in the rural area, how can we really design it? So we tried to see, can a nurse is not available in the rural areas, but we can prepare a certified healthcare worker, and then we can enable them, we can empower them by using technology that can work, like part of the brain of the nurse can come to this healthcare worker, part of the brain of the doctor can come to this healthcare worker if we can provide them the technology. Diagnostics tools were very big in clinics, but recently all the small to get your vitals from your body, the devices are becoming smaller, cheaper, faster, and accurate, which is very good news. So we can really use that. The doctor is the problematic one. We cannot really send doctor, but there is an idea, like, can we connect them by using online? So finally, what we have invented is make a box. Inside the box, there will be all the diagnostic tools, or the medical devices will be collapsed into one box, and the box can be carried by a woman, so it can look like a walking hospital. So we had to go to the hospital before, but now the hospital can come to you and it can visit your office as well, which is normally like a Grameen concept. So, and the patient will be connected by using, so doctor wants to stay in the urban area, please stay in the urban area. We will just connect you by using the technology. It's nothing new. It's happening, telemedicine has been practiced many years. But what we are doing is giving the right information and enough information to the doctor so that the doctor can make an efficient clinical decision. So that's why the doctor needs updated information, and the healthcare worker can send fresh information right now, almost the real time, and the doctor can see the information and make a clinical decision. So this is a video for people. I just played for 1 minute. Portable health clinic. This is the box, how it looks like. So inside the box, we have many diagnostic tools, cheaper, faster, accurate. And then by using this tool, one healthcare worker, she can take vital information and she can check your blood, your everything, and then digitize this information, put it in a tab that we have an application software in it, and that information can go directly to the doctor. But before it goes to the doctor, we use a triaging function to classify the patients into 4 colors. Red means you're risky and green means you are safe. So only the red and orange patients are communicated with the doctor. Doctor can speak to the patient, and the doctor can write a prescription, and the prescription can be printed at the locality. So all the functionality that we have, it can be done by using this portable health clinic. So by using this, what we found that 4 types of information is coming in our PHC database: registration data, checkup data, conversation data is something very, very powerful. So how a doctor is making a clinical decision, we can see that flow. Of course, there are privacy issues. We can talk about this later, but and also the prescription data. But having all this information in one place, the doctor can make a very much better decision, accurate decision. And to do this kind of 14 different checkup, it takes only 40 minutes. So even health checkups in our university, in Kyushu University, I used to take it almost like half a day, but recently it is compacted. It is taking less time. So this is what the prescription looks like. Even a low literate people can see and understand how many greens she has, how many reds she has. So it's very much patient friendly, and they can understand. The prescription, of course, follows the standard as well. So this is what the box looked like, and this triaging system we used. And for the last 10 years, if I look at the data, it can save 39%. Only 39% people need doctor consultancy. So we can really reduce the burden of the doctor 61%. And of course, it can reduce your cost as well. In our lab, we tried to check the PHC database. It was so much, we took the data in a very organic way, and inside that it was so dirty, it is not organized, very much unstructured. Then we developed different type of technology to clean the data, to impute the data that were missing, and how can we make predictions. So in our trial, we found that we can do a status prediction by 97%. Diabetes risk prediction accuracy was almost like 96%. We can do uric acid prediction where the error rate is less than 0.03. And it can reduce by using this artificial intelligence. We can say that we can reduce 67% of the cost reduction for like the second screening. So, by the way, I would mention one thing. Technologies are to assist the doctor. It's not to replace the doctor. So we can make this prediction, but the prediction is not really to replace the doctor. How can you create this micro healthcare entrepreneur? So we had some training. We are going to training events in Bangladesh. So people who already have healthcare or paramedics sort of certifications, we gave 5 days training in Grameen. They know portable health clinic and they know how to operate it as a business. So they become a micro health entrepreneur. So that is our goal. So we created a company in Japan. It's called Social Tech Japan. So all the technology we develop, we want to provide in a social business way to make sure that we don't make any profit for ourselves. So this is the important thing. All the Grameen's philosophy, when they make profit, you can make profit, but the profit goes to the poor people. Profit doesn't come as like in Grameen Bank, all the profit they make, it goes to this 97% of this investor are really from the poor community. So this is the model that we are trying to do. We are not breaking the Grameen's model. It will be the same. Only the thing we're giving micro healthcare entrepreneur a tool, which will be the advanced tool. We are training the youth and make an entrepreneur, meaning they will be financially sustainable. By doing this, we want to make sure that the community and the bottom of the pyramid, there will be millions of entrepreneurs there. And by using that, we can achieve zero unemployment. This is just one example. So I will finish here, but before that, I would like to mention that we have a course in Kyushu University. Last year, Professor Valentine also gave one class to the students as well on circular economy. But this time we are going to Bangladesh by receiving the maximum number of students will be only 25. And we want to go to Bangladesh in September. We want to restart this project. So far, we start the journey with many organizations in Japan came up to see how we can, it's not only for the social cause, but at the same time, it gives the business for the companies as well. So Toyota for mobility, Omron for healthcare, and some other foundations work with us, including JICA as well for this agriculture project. And we are recognized by many awards, international and domestic awards. So thank you very much. Back to you, Scott.
Great, thanks, Dr. Ashir. And I mean, what a both a worthwhile endeavor and you know, just a source of pride for our university, I must say, doing this type of work. We have very limited time for questions. So Dr. Ashir, can I just first of all ask you, is there someone that people who are online in the audience can contact to follow up with you if they wish to get involved in any of the projects that you're working on?
Definitely, yes. Okay. So should I put my email address in the...
Yes, if you wouldn't mind popping that into the webinar chat. And
definitely.
Yeah. Now, we've got one question on portable health clinics and the need to reduce doctors. This person is saying that the doctors may lose their job and the zero unemployment might not be achieved. I don't even know if that's an issue, but anyway, I'll ask you, is that an issue?
Yes or no, depending on we do not have enough doctors. We have to understand in the BOP community. So first of all, how we can really fill the gap. So that will be our first attempt. So the doctors usually for one patient, they spend less than 3 minutes. And maybe a few seconds sometimes when they're very much busy. So what we want to do by using this artificial intelligence, we want to make sure the doctor can have enough time to talk to the patients so the resources can be utilized. So that's the part of the thing. But as I mentioned, that artificial intelligence will work only to assist the doctor to make a better decision. It's not to replace the doctor. So doctor will not lose a job if we design it this way. But it may occur like artificial intelligence can also work better than a doctor. So we have to be in fact there's a group in ITU. I'm also working with them. We have raised one group. It is called Artificial Intelligence for Good. So we want to make a decision like how artificial intelligence should be controlled so that to make sure that it really doesn't kill your job, but it helps you to do your job in an efficient way.
Right.
So that's the quick answer.
So a very interesting question about the time it takes to solve these issues. The commenter is saying that these challenges have been widely acknowledged for a considerable amount of time, and however, progress has always been slow. And so the question is, why do you think it's taking so long to solve these problems within a reasonable time frame?
Very good question. Very good question. It's so it's a total package. And if this person is talking about only healthcare issue, I can talk about this healthcare problem first, but it is, I think, the same question can be asked for everything, like the first slide that I showed, the unfortunate facts. We have been seeing this for years, but it is not changing. So the reason it doesn't change is, for an example, if I talk about this healthcare issue, as I said, 100 million people pushed to poverty because the high cost of the healthcare cost is high and they don't have insurance system. It's an informal sector. So it is very difficult to keep that up. Even for an example, COVID-19, the person who didn't get vaccination is the poor people, poor countries, and all the services, because of this informal sector, they didn't get any sort of, they lose their job, but their job was not guaranteed because it was not a contract job or anything. So these persons are the sufferers all the time. So it takes time. Once we solve one problem, it creates another problem. So the totality, like SDGs is really very nicely designed. We have to see the sustainability of this people and design something. It is not like you solve one problem and you think this is up. And then we have to see is as a package. So this kind of, in Kyushu University, we had one course called IDS3. It is called Decision Science, PhD for Decision. So it's a multidisciplinary work. And all these projects that I'm talking about, these are multidisciplinary stuff. And like Japanese government rightly mentioned about Society 5.0, where all this multidisciplinary will be integrated together. So that's yet another problem. So this integration will help you to address, like, if one problem is really creating another, one solution is creating another problem or not. So that will be necessary. So the person who asked this question, I want to congratulate him or her for this question. It's a very nice question, but unfortunately it is not done. But I think Society 5.0 might have some answers to that.
There's a number of questions still to go, and I notice Prajat Paul has asked a couple of questions, which will probably require some fairly extensive answers. So Prajat, could you please reach out to Dr. Ahmed separately? You have his email in the chat for that. If I can, just to end on a question for you regarding how our students can get involved. You know, in particular, we may even have some students at QDI, well, I'm sure we do, that want to get involved internationally, but they feel uncomfortable about being able to operate in English. So the question is, how can they play a role in supporting this? Is there a role for them? And secondly, you know, for the rest of students who, you know, feel more comfortable in English, what can they do to help you to support this project?
Thank you very much. The first thing is to get interested into any project. Language is just a tool. It's a communication tool. But in the past, what I have seen, like English is spoken in North India, all over the world. So when we go to developing countries, we need another language. But if they know English, that's good. But what I found in Japanese students, when they go to developing countries, all the social problems are so visible. And they think that they can do something for the society. In Japan, the problems are not visible. Social problems, issues are not visible. So they think that, okay, it's my regular life. And they don't really find so much exciting things to do in Japan. So when they go there, I can see their face when they are very confident when they design something by themselves. So my suggestion will be, I think even right now we have the right technology. Artificial intelligence can help you to translate if you have any problem with the translations, you can use them, but create some interest, get some empathy for doing something. And you guys in Kyushu University is so much lucky. like you have access to educational materials. You have great professors in Kyushu University as well. So talk to them, and then and there are so many clubs and many courses in Kyushu University as well, and so many, I guess, many type of groups online. So they can get in touch with the teachers, professors, other students, and also in Kyushu University, they have entrepreneurs clubs as well. So QREC is offering different courses, so they can get in touch. And also Kyushu University is providing scholarships if you want to go outside for your internship to any countries. So all those facilities are there. So students can really communicate with the university offices for that.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us today. I suspect you will be inundated with questions and expressions of interest. Once again, those of you who are interested, please take note that Dr. Ahmed's SDG Entrepreneur course, you can see it here. There's a registration link in the bottom right-hand corner. The registration is open till June the 7th. I would suggest that you register your interest as early as possible because it is going to be definitely oversubscribed. And we just want to, once again, in closing, thank you to Dr. Ashir Ahmed for sharing your passion and your achievements with us. It's been an inspirational talk, and thanks once again.
Thank you very much.
Great. We can hardly wait, by the way, till next year when we see the results of the teams that are going to Bangladesh this fall. So thank you. All right, stay tuned for next week's Brown Bag seminar and some closing comments from our organizers.
アシル先生、バレンタイン先生、ありがとうございました。最後に事務局よりご案内させていただきます。まず次回のブラウンバックセミナーのご案内です。次回は来週4月26日水曜日の12時10分より、九州大学工学研究院航空宇宙工学部門の東野真一郎教授より、固定翼ドローンと科学観測と題し講演を実施いたします。詳細はホームページをご覧ください。